Hello students, hope you are fine. Today I'm going to take up a new poem, that is I Remember by Thomas Hardy. In this poem we'll see how the poet is actually reminiscing about his lost childhood. He is feeling very nostalgic. He's just remembering of his old house where he used to sit, where he was born and brought up. So here we'll see that how the poet is contrasting between the careful childhood, which was blissful, to the present state of adulthood, which has lost all its meaning. So let's begin with the poem. I Remember by Thomas Hood. So basically, before we start, I would like to tell you that here the poet is just lamenting upon his lost childhood, which was blissful, which was beautiful. So he's comparing his adulthood with the present gloomy state. But see, I remember line have been repeated again and again when we begin a new stanza. This repetition of line is known as refrain. So this is a figure of speech. So basically this is emphasizing on the fact that poet actually misses and he's remembering his beautiful childhood. I remember the house where I was born. He is just thinking about his past. He is reminiscing his childhood, and he's thinking about the time which he used to spend in his house where he was born, where he grew up. The little window where the sun came creeping in at morn. So sun here stands for regularity of life, predictability, permanence, right? So during his childhood everything was perfect. So यहाँ पे visual imagery use हुई है. So sun rises rhythmically. Every day it comes at the same time. There is a balance between day and night. In the similar manner, childhood days were very balanced days, right, as compared to the present conditions. He never came a wink too soon. Personification. He is used for sun. So he never came a wink too soon. The sun was always punctual. Wink is this. आँख मारना. So he never came a wink too soon. Not even for a second did he come early. अपने punctual time पे आता था, punctual time पे जाता था. So again हम यहाँ पे बोल सकते हैं regularity of life को depict कर रहा है sun. A sun has a close relationship with the poet. He feels very comfortable when the sun used to come every day, breaking his night. It was beautiful for the poet that time. Not brought to longer days. So days were not long for him. He used to wait for the days. He used to enjoy those days. And the cyclic routine of the sun was really reassuring and comforting. उसको बहुत अच्छा लगता था जब sun अपने time पे आता था. उसके लिए वो time duration was not burden. It was not something जो वो avoid करना चाहता था. He used to enjoy his days during his childhood. But now, see, but से begin हो रहा है. But यहाँ पे sharp contrast दिखा रहे हैं childhood में and to the harsh realities. So now, जो present condition है, that means his adult life. I wish the night had borne my breath away. Night symbolizes death and has borne. Borne means carried my breath. So the poet here wishes that his life had ended when he was still a child. This shows that the poet believed that his childhood was better than his adulthood. So basically he's so tensed with his present life that he's actually wishing कि काश जो childhood days था उसी में मैं मर गया होता, मुझे ये harsh realities देखनी ही नहीं पड़ती. वो दिन जो थे वो सबसे अच्छे दिन थे. Those days were the best days, and he never wanted to witness these adulthood days which are full of anxiety, trouble, problems, etc. Right? Moving on to the second stanza. I remember the roses, red and white. What is he saying? That he had a beautiful garden and he appreciated the beauty of nature. He appreciated all these colorful flowers when he was a child. And he's talking about red, white flowers, the violets, the lily cups and the lilacs, in which there were robin nest also. Those flowers made of light. So he found the flowers so delicate that he believed that they were made up of light. Flowers and light, they are representing his depressed state of mind. At present, he's really sad. He's really depressed. The lilacs where the robin built and where my brother said the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is yet living. So lilac is representing security and comfort of his childhood. So he even remembers the lilac plant where the robin is a bird जिसने अपना nest बनाया था. So he is remembering almost everything. See, children have the ability to appreciate very very small things in life. adult जो हम बड़े हो जाते हैं तो हम लोग इतनी ज़्यादा लाइफ के ट्रबल्स में बंध जाते हैं कि हम लोग छोटी छोटी चीज़ों को अप्रिशिएट नहीं कर पाते हैं. बट चिल्ड्रन, सी आपने कभी एक बच्चे को देखा है, उसके सामने से बटरफ्लाई जाता है तो वो कितना ज़्यादा खुश हो जाता है, वाओ दैट बटरफ्लाई, इट्स सो ब्यूटीफुल. अडल्ट के सामने जाते हैं, हाँ ठीक है, इट्स अ बटरफ्लाई. सो वी पीपल डू नॉट have that much of time and patience to like appreciate the beauty of nature. So when he was a young child, he used to love the roses, the red colored roses, white colored roses, violets, lily caps, and even the lilacs where the robin had built its nest. So he actually remembers the laburnum tree which his brother had planted on his birthday. Although the tree is still there, although पेड़ अभी भी है, but he is missing the opportunity to understand the beauty. He is actually missing the opportunity to smell the tree. That is, appreciate the simple joys of life. Moving on to the third stanza. I remember where I used to swing. He's again talking about his carefree life. He is just remembering the past thing where he used to swing and thought the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the wing. He used to swing at such a high pace that he many a times used to think to himself कि जो force, जो pressure मुझे feel हो रहा है, क्या swallow is a bird, small bird, क्या उनको भी ये force feel हो रहा है? He used to feel as if he's flying in the sky just like swallows. Here, a figure of speech known enjambment has been used. Basically, it's a figure of speech in which you do not put any exclamation mark or comma or full stop and just move on to the next line immediately. My spirits flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now. So spirit was light when he was young. He was free from the burden of life. He had no tension. When he was young, he was absolutely free. He had no tension. बच्चे की फीस कहाँ से जाएगी, खाने का खर्चा कहाँ से होगा, अगर फीस पैसे नहीं आएंगे. It was not his part of the job, right? वो उसका क्या था, सिर्फ मजे करना, right? That is so heavy now. So burden of rationality, burden of reason has dawned on him. Now represents adulthood. So when he was young, he was free from all kind of tensions. He was free from all kinds of burdens of adult life. But now his life is heavy. He is feeling burdened under all those pressure. And summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. See, when he was young, the dip in the summer pools used to actually refresh him. वो बहुत ज़्यादा खुश हो जाता था, बहुत ज़्यादा refresh हो जाता था जब वो summers में pool में डूब के मारता था. But now the same dip does not give him any happiness because childhood life was free from all kind of worries and tensions. But adult life always grabs a person and he's not able to like enjoy the way he used to enjoy during his childhood. Swallow on the wing पे एक और figure of speech है, that is simile. So when the poet, as a child, when he used to swing, he used to feel himself as if he's a swallow, just the way the swallow flies high and feels the rush. In the similar manner, the poet also used to feel the same. So यहाँ पे simile use हुई है. Moving on to the last stanza. I remember the fir trees dark and high. So the poet is remembering that, again, this shows his innocence, how innocent children are. So in the last stanza, he's just thinking that the fir trees dark and high, I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. So he used to feel as if this is the fir tree. Fir tree का जो point है, जहाँ पे खत्म हो रहा है, वहीं पे heaven है. So that was his imagination कि fir trees जहाँ पे भी खत्म होते हैं वहीं पे heaven start होता है. So but ये चीज़ तब तक थी जब वो young था, when he was a child. लेकिन जैसे जैसे उसके सामने adulthood आता है, realities आती हैं, realities से उसको सारा exposure of the world मिलता है, उसको reality जान के बिल्कुल भी खुशी नहीं होती है. It was a childish ignorance, but now it is little joy. See, यहाँ पे metaphor use हुआ है. He is comparing his present state to the colorful state of the child. It is little joy. Little means hardly any joy. Although बचपने में उसको पता नहीं था, reality नहीं पता थी, उसको लगता था fir tree जहाँ पे खत्म हो रहा है वहीं पे heaven है. Although when he is growing up, he comes to know about the reality, but this reality is not good. He does not wish कि काश मुझे ये reality पता ही ना चलती. He wishes that. Ignorance is actually a bliss. He feels that childhood ignorance was beautiful. Why? Because he felt that heaven is not far away from him. He felt as if he's quite close to the heaven. जैसे fir tree खत्म होगा वैसे ही heaven उसको दिख जाएगा. So this is why we can say that children are blissful and they are protected from the harsh realities of life. I know I am far off from heaven than when I was a boy. So he does not feel happy to know that heaven is actually not at the end of the fir tree, but it is far away from him. And he does not feel any kind of happiness in knowing the reality. काश मुझे ये पता ही ना होता तो वो state ज़्यादा अच्छा था. Spirituality and inner peace, that is heaven, which appeared to be close when he was young, when he was in his childhood, no longer seems to be attainable to him now. Earlier, that thing was within his reach. When he was child, जब उसको लगता था कि heaven पास में है, वो attainable लगता था. अब जब उसको reality पता चल गई है, वो चीज़ उसके beyond the reach चली गई है. The poem comes to a conclusion in the state when the poet is regretting that the period of his childhood has passed away. He wants to relive the period of his childhood. So we can say that his final desire is to return to the period of his childhood. It was blissful for him, it was beautiful for him, and he wants to remain there unbothered for a very long time. I hope you people like the video. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Bye.